Hello everyone. Thank you for clicking on the video. If you clicked on this video, it's because you might be interested in trying poly, because you might know somebody who's poly in your life and you want to understand it better. I don't know, because you're a good friend or a good whoever you are to that person, or because you might have just heard a lot about it, probably through memes, probably through really funny memes, probably through memes that are pretty accurate, even if you ask people like me who have been poly for a long time. Now, I can't give you perfect guidelines for poly. I can't make poly work for you. Poly can only work for people who want it, who desire it, and who really try hard to make it work. But I can give you some sort of insight on what's worked for me. I've been poly for 3 years. Been with my first girlfriend for 10 years. We went going poly. That's funny. It's like going vegan. We went poly 3 years into our relationship. It was her idea. We dated around for a while, and we landed on an amazing person. In 2023, we started dating our girlfriend, Puppy Girl XO. She moved in basically day one into my parents' garage where we were living at the time, which is crazy. I don't recommend that for anybody. I don't know of anybody else who could make that work in my life, but there are people out there who could. But that's what's worked for us. It worked somehow. But anyway, she moved in day one. And basically the rest is history. We've been making content together. That's how we make our living. We make content on the internet, certain content, if you know, you know. And Puppy Girl XO and Soapy Fate, my girlfriends, are very prolific internet personalities. They've been on the internet for a while. And again, if you know, you know. So anyway, it's becoming a more and more popular relationship dynamic, which is a beautiful thing. I think that more and more people want to explore different ways of living their lives. People are interested in being more open with themselves and their partners and their relationships. And I think that's a beautiful thing. It comes from a great place. People want to be free of jealousy. They want to be free of constraints, of societal pressure to behave a certain way, for relationships to be a certain way. I think that's usually where poly comes from. That's where it's born from. And I think that's amazing. I think it's born from this idea that your partner can't provide everything for you. And everybody knows this, even people in monogamous relationships. We have friends for a reason. We have friends we go to the gym with. We have friends that we play games with. Your partner might not be into either of those things. They don't have to be. You shouldn't make your partner be into all of the things you're into. It's not natural. They have their own stuff. They have their own interests. They have their own desires. And it's okay to live separate lives and then come together and be together. And if that means you add a third partner that you date and that you live with and that you share intimate moments with, that's a beautiful thing. It could work amazingly, and I think that more and more people are realizing that. Now, I just wanted to go over a couple frequently asked questions / frequently commented comments, mainly the comments one that I get when I tell people I'm poly. Now, I live in LA, right? And I also am a very bizarre person. I am with 2 trans girls. I am bisexual. I live in Los Angeles. I have a pimple patch on my forehead, and I have a little fake heart tattoo. I don't even know my lefts from my rights either. You know, I'm a bizarre person. So I can't speak for the average person, but I've interacted with a lot of incredibly what you would call normal people, whatever normal people means, in the South, where I used to do blue collar work and where I'm from, and in Los Angeles. And honestly, the comments and the questions are very similar in both places, to be completely honest with you. The one I get the most, it's more of a misconception, is so do you date them separately? And I think that this comes from a decently problematic position of this idea that men just want to juggle girls, right? They want their cake and eat it too. They want a relationship, but they also want to fool around with a bunch of other girls, a bunch of other people, whatever they're into. This is true of some poly relationships. Some poly relationships are open. Our relationship is not open. We have done things with other people, especially being in the industry we're in, but it's always been mutual understanding, and it's always been with all 3 of us involved and all 3 of us coming to a conclusion that is comfortable for everybody. That's what's worked for us. Again, different things work for different people, but as a majority of the time thing, it's just us 3 and a couple other very trusted close friends that we let into our orbit. That's the way it works for us. poly and monogamy is not very different in that way. You have to overly communicate. You have to be sure. You can't be overly jealous. This is something that monogamous relationships are rife with, is over jealousy, and that ruins a lot of monogamous relationships. And that brings me to my second comment about I would get jealous. Okay, well, yeah, if you would get jealous, monogamous relationships aren't going to work for you either. I have news for you. And it's really interesting, because a lot of the people who say the jealousy thing, they also are not successful in monogamous relationships. They don't make monogamous relationships work either, and that makes sense. If you are constantly struggling with jealousy, no relationships are going to work for you. That's something that you really need to keep in mind, is that jealousy is never a good emotion. It's a natural emotion. It's one that everybody feels, but it's something you got to deal with, or your relationships aren't going to work. Your friendships aren't going to work. No relationship is going to work. I want to go into detail and depth with a lot of these subjects in future videos, but that's where I'm going to leave it for now. Those are just common things, an intro to my life and my relationship. If you've been following me and my girlfriends on the internet for a while, you are probably pretty intimately familiar with us already. So I'm going to leave my girlfriend's ats on the screen. You should go follow them, go follow me, watch our life. We mainly make content on Instagram. We do everything. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.